Concepts and views discussed in Healthy Living Las Vegas are the views of the hosts and guests. If you plan on beginning a new health or wellness program, such as those discussed on the show, please remember to consult your healthcare professional before starting or significantly changing your personal lifestyle. Welcome to Healthy Living Las Vegas with Chef Sharynne Frazer, a new type of radio show with an open forum for business professionals in the health, wellness, and financial industries. Healthy Living Las Vegas will showcase the latest health, wellness, and medical treatment options available today. Medical expenses are the #1 cause of bankruptcy in the United States. We know that one major illness can wipe you and or your family out financially. We'll talk with experts in the financial and investment arena and learn how you can protect yourself against total financial loss and ruin. And now, Healthy Living Las Vegas with Chef Sharynne Frazer.
Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to Healthy Living Las Vegas. I'm your host, Chef Sharynne Frazer. Hope everyone had a great week. We're certainly in the middle of the week, and we have a really fabulous show for you today. I have a very special guest with me today, Mr. Robert Takhtalian, who's the president, founder, and owner of Vita-Myr International. And I must admit, my new business partner, and we have joined together to continue our work together to educate the public about the importance of oral health care, both of us of which we suffer. And without further ado, my special guest, Robert T. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, and thank you for inviting me here. I really appreciate it. I love being in front of camera. But thank you. Yes, it's going to be a great partnership. We can talk about health. There is so many things we can talk about. It's just life, our children's life, everybody's life. So we're going to share our experiences. We're going to talk about products. And one of the first things I always talk is about my story. And every time my story that I want to say, I try to make it really short. But it's really hard to make short a good story. How do you say something that you lived for a long time in a couple of sentences? One of my biggest problem always was oral problem after age of 40, 45. And I really didn't pay attention much. The biggest problem everybody has that they don't pay attention to little things that starts. And that's how the oral problem starts. You don't pay attention, it becomes bigger problem. The moment you have a little problem already, you have a problem, you just don't know how big it is until you get to your dental office. They sit you on a chair and they start reading you the book. And then you realize you're in a lot of trouble, and not only pain and suffering, but also financially, also losing your health, and so on. In my case, I trusted my dentist and my periodontist, and I thought they're doing a great job for me, and the only person was against that I was doing, it was my wife. Actually, she is the brains behind Vita-Myr product.
I see.
She's everything. I had no knowledge, nor I was thinking about it. I had a business, very busy, very successful. I didn't have time anything else. She was also busy, but she find time to study ingredients, and she's very knowledgeable about health. And she would tell me, look, there is natural things we can do. Why can't you look into this? I would say, honey, I have the best dentist. I have the best periodontist in town. I pay, they take care of me. Well, she says, yeah, but things are getting worse. They're not getting better. I say, they'll take care of me. Again, long story short, it came to the time where my periodontist said, Robert, if we will not remove all your teeth out of your mouth, you will have no gums and no bones left to hold your dentures.
Scary.
Wow, scary. Talk about scary. You know, I didn't want to lose my teeth. I didn't want to remove all my teeth. But he said, listen, don't worry. We'll put the best implants for you. It's only about $45,000. I said, sure, I got money tree behind my yard.
Best money can buy, right?
But, you know, you think you have no choice. And that was my case. They gave me pills that I was supposed to take before going to remove my teeth. I forgot the name of those yellow pills they gave me. If she was here, she would tell me what it was. I mean, she's got memory unbelievable. I'm talking about my wife.
Yes. Okay.
So I went to my office. I had a store on the corner of Olive and Spring Mountain at the time called Flower Time. And I said, honey, if you want to divorce me, you're going to do it now because I'm going to be toothless. If you don't want a toothless husband, I'm going to be done. But we're going to have implants, and they said it's going to be only $45,000.
Only.
She said, look, it's not the money or anything. Just I want you to look at these ingredients that I did research for. You can look at it, and if you don't see anything good, because she knew I have knowledge about chemistry and metallurgy, because I studied metallurgy when I was young. And she said, just look at it. If not, then, you can always let that be the last choice. You know, let that be the last choice. I always say this, I've done many different shows. I always say, I learned that men are stubborn. And I was one of those. Why didn't I listen to her before? I would have saved myself so much money, so much time.
And pain.
But, I didn't listen to her, and that cost me a lot. So I started reading this ingredient list. My story never changes, always the same. No matter how many times I said this last 16 years. You look at some of the ingredients, some you don't know, but most of them are common things like clove oil.
Right.
We all know clove oil. Myrrh oil, my God, who doesn't know myrrh oil? Baby Jesus was in the manger. The wise men came, brought myrrh oil to clean the... Why did they brought the oil? Because it was the best antibacterial thing they had at the time.
Exactly.
That was myrrh oil.
Before tetracycline and antibiotics, boys and girls.
So that's how it, I thought... Well, anyways, make the long story short. I'll maybe some other time I'll tell the whole story. But we end up making this mouthwash at home. We got the ingredients, many ingredients, but we end up choosing zinc, folic acid, clove oil, and myrrh oil with distilled water. Except the process is very hard. The way it took me 3 months or so to perfect the mouthwash, what it is today, that's been selling nationwide, worldwide actually, we ship all over. And after I was healed in about 3.5 months time, now I wasn't keeping any records. I never knew this is going to become a successful story and worldwide population is going to use our product. I keep saying it's my poor English. It's ours because my wife is the brain of it. I just talk and I do business, and that's what I'm good at. She's good at thinking and doing things right and correcting me all the time.
And by the way,
that's his full-time job.
And by the way, his wife is a certified natural health practitioner, so she's very, very qualified.
Also aromatherapist.
Yep.
And
iridologist.
Also an iridologist. She's knowledge. I mean, you know what I say? If I knew 10% of what my wife knows, I conquered the world. That's how good she is. But I thank God for people that I don't have that knowledge because I would conquer everything.
There you go. But, so let's go. Let's continue on talking about each of the individual products, because I think this is something that people really need to know, because when you start looking at labels and benefits, one brand versus another brand, and we're not about versus, it's about delivering health benefits.
That's true. The mouthwash was so, this is the 16-ounce mouthwash, the original mouthwash we made. And
I love it.
It has zinc, folic acid, clove oil, myrrh oil, distilled water, and it works like a charm. Now, it's not an all-cure mouthwash, it's a mouthwash. I had people would call and say, well, I used a bottle of mouthwash. I didn't see a really big difference. Well, I say, something you destroyed in 20 years, you're going to use a bottle of mouthwash and be
30
cured?
days.
I mean, there is no magic here. It's a mouthwash that you got to use daily to help to keep the bacteria under control in your mouth. If you have that
and on
problem.
that note, Robert, let's just explain to folks the whole purpose of the oral product line or healthcare. Oral health care is to control those bacteria colonies that form in our mouth. And for those of us who suffer, myself included, it's 55 days, and those little buggers start colonizing again, and they start attacking your gums.
Well, that's why I always say health is a full-time job. You start in the morning brushing your teeth, you go to bed brushing your teeth. If you don't, you have a problem. beginning of our health starts in our mouth.
Absolutely.
We don't know that until we lose that ability to eat, and we suffer from pain and financially and time out of your daily life because your toothache can put you down so fast, you'll be surprised.
Amen.
And then you don't know how important it is that you lose the ability to eat right.
Yes.
Well, ask anybody who has dental problems and dentures and they can't eat for 2, 3, 4 days, a week, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be on liquid diet. All of a sudden, life becomes a horrible thing to live without
the quality
eating.
of life, of course.
Right. So people don't know that. I didn't know that until I really understood, my God, I'm going to lose all my teeth. What's going to happen to me? Sure, there is dentures and there is implants and all that, but you have to go through a process and a lot of money to get this done.
And you know what, Robert? Unfortunately, in this country, we have accepted that's the normal protocol. That as you get older, it's just normal that your teeth fall out and you lose your teeth and you're going to get dentures. And that's not and should not be the case.
Well, I don't know if it's something that is normal that we accept that. I mean, nobody thinks about it. That's the thing. We don't think about how important it is. Of course, we tell our children, brush your teeth, we force them. But as they grow, they become on their own. They neglect. 20 seconds of brushing your teeth is not enough to get your oral bacteria on check.
That's correct.
So this is where my story become interesting, where after putting the mouthwash out in the market, several stores, all of a sudden we get a phone call saying, this is great, it's moving good, now you have to make a toothpaste. I said, what do you mean to make a toothpaste? We just put that mouthwash out of love and helping people. It wasn't anything, just it became successful because it's so good. But I don't know how to make toothpaste. No, you have to make a toothpaste. But no fluoride, no sugar, no preservatives, no chemicals. Wow, how do you make toothpaste? I didn't know. Well, it took us 2 years to make the toothpaste. The original toothpaste, Vita-Myr Zinc Plus. And we made that, it took us 2 years with the laboratory help. And, the rest is a history. We've been making products since the last 16 years, and I can talk about this forever. But I want to hear about you. I heard about your recipes, and I just know that I would love to have your recipes on our website so people can benefit. We have great following. We supply thousands of stores nationwide. We have great following, but we never were into food kind of thing because, we don't have the knowledge. Mm-hmm. Now we have knowledge about what we're doing, the shampoos and conditioners, but you have a knowledge for food. Can you tell me a little about you?
Sure, absolutely. Matter of fact, you got an opportunity to taste a little bit of food the last couple of days. Yeah,
that was great. That was so good. The smoothie you made with Vita-Myr's Inca Warrior Protein powder,
awesome.
Which we'll talk about, but
yes.
Go ahead.
Well, let's see. For me, mainly my story I really like to talk about and share more about is my story and my path with my teeth and my gum disease, because most people know who I am or know of me, so I don't need to talk about the chefing portion of my life. But Robert and I met through a mutual friend, Becky over at Herbally Grounded, to be exact.
Great store.
Wonderful store. Our products are in the store. I've had a relationship with them for many, many years. But long story short, Robert and I came to know each other through a mutual friend, and I shared my story about having problems periodontally, and then he shared his story. And we played phone tag for a while, could not connect with one another until finally it was a Sunday morning. And Sunday morning it was an hour and a half on the phone. And we shared and bonded with our experiences and our frustration and the highs and the lows and the money we've spent and the pain and the days of work that we've missed and all of that. And it was just like it was, boom, it was meant to be. So that's kind of my story. I started at 14. Gums were bleeding a little bit. My parents didn't know about periodontal disease. At that time, I don't think it was even called that. I think it was called pyorrhea.
Pyorrhea.
Yeah, but they didn't think anything of it. They thought that the bleeding of the gum was healthy. Like, you cut yourself and you kind of push it and get rid of all the blood, and now it's all fresh and you put a Band-Aid. So it wasn't until I was 26 that I had what I call a blowout. I woke up one day and I had this huge, swollen on the side of my neck. Went to the dentist and come to find out that was my first stage of periodontal. At that point, it was probably like a stage 2. I didn't even know. But the reason I really want to share my story is for the public, for those of you that are listening or watching. If you happen to run across someone who maybe they have a little bit of an odor to their breath, and I know this is so personal, but your cause and what you're going to do to help someone is tremendous. Take them aside and share with them that might be something that they want to look at, go to their dentist and investigate. Because had I been told, I didn't know, and maybe my breath was stinking for 12, 13 years and no one said anything to me until finally the good Lord said, well, Chef, I'm going to send you a signal, there's something wrong, and I ended up with the blowout, right? So I really want to reach out to people. If you happen to see that in someone or you smell it or something, in a kind way, just say, I know someone who's had an experience like this, and just to, with a soft hand on their shoulder, share that and have them go check it out.
Well, that's a problem because nobody wants to talk to somebody about their bread.
Right.
Nobody. My problem was, I was in retail business all my life and I dealt with people all the time. So the days that I knew I'm bad, no matter what I did, chewing gum, candy, whatever, I still kept my distance from people as much as I could because I didn't know what it was truly bad. So, and again, one thing I didn't know a lot that I learned last 15 years is nutrition, how important nutrition is, how you eat right, why I'm so excited to be with you in morning.
Yes.
And Vita-Myr's product line was created as we keep learning every single day.
Yes.
To our customers and our friends, every time they said something. So if one would think of things that what can we do to help?
To help.
It wasn't like creating the handmade soap. We found a lady who was making this for us, and we wanted them to do what we wanted, how we wanted, the way Yvonne decided to use only oils, natural, to make handmade soap like they did before, years ago.
Back in the day.
There's no chemicals, absolutely nothing but the oils in it. The same thing goes with our shampoos and conditioners, totally natural. And not easy to make good natural products unless you have a lot of knowledge and a lot of help with people who have more knowledge about each item that we put out. So coming back to oral health is very important for every single person on this earth.
Absolutely.
Because without eating properly, you are nothing. You miss the days when you chew a steak. You miss the days that you can crunch some crunchy food like toast or
apple.
I gave you my example once. After I healed my gums and my teeth were nice and tight sitting there, I bite an apple. I tell people, if I would bite an apple before, my teeth would stay in the apple. Now I'm able to bite the apple and chew it. So that is the best way I can explain. When you have loose teeth totally in your mouth and your gums are bleeding, and you have full amount of bacteria, your life is horrible.
Yeah, it does. It changes your quality of life.
So what
totally.
you can do to improve your life, what you can do is take care of your problem. Number one, everybody must see a dentist or a technician to clean their teeth at least once a year. What happens is bacteria sits around gum line, creates plaque, and plaque will eat your bone and teeth away and make your gums loose. That's where the bacteria is. So you gotta have clean gum line, no plaque. Right. And plaque will be created by having dry mouth, good heavy smokers, drug addicts, drinking a lot. When your mouth is dry, you don't swallow your saliva as often. Then your bacteria has a good chance to stick to your gum line. But if your mouth is moist constantly, you swallow your saliva, you swallow the bacteria, you kill them. That's one of the best ways to get rid of keeping moist mouth always. That's one of the things we made zinc and folic acid toothpaste. We added CoQ10 and xylitol and made, ta-da! Is it visible?
Yeah.
Vita-Myr's extra toothpaste, which is, we call extra because it has extra ingredients with zinc and folic acid, myrrh and clove. Now we have xylitol and CoQ10. Xylitol is good because Dental Association accepts it as a cavity fighter. Also, xylitol keeps your mouth very moist. So you constantly swallow your saliva, which you swallow the bacteria, and they die in your stomach acid. Natural order of things.
And on that note, the whole purpose, I mean, people don't really understand. It's so basic for us. We understand it now. The reason for the saliva is to help to, of course, break down your food. That's your digestion starts in your mouth. Exactly.
First digestion starts in your mouth.
Exactly. But also, the saliva also helps to keep the colonies, the concentration down. As you're constantly producing saliva and you're producing bacteria, you're keeping the concentration of bacteria down. When you're low in saliva, the concentration of bacteria goes up. Then they start doing their little thing, producing those toxins, which attach themselves to our gum line, and they just start...
Create bacteria and plaque.
Yes, exactly.
I met people who would say, well, I say, hey, you have plaque. It's so visible. When did you see a dentist last time get your teeth cleaned? Well, I'm afraid if I remove all that plaque, I will lose all my teeth because they're holding it tight. I swear, I'm not making this up. You know, it's true. I heard so many stories. If I tell you all, it's laughable. But coming to the point of oral health, if you don't take care of your mouth is not going to take care of you. Or if you take care of your mouth really will take care of you. You'll be healthy, you will eat good. Yeah. And first digestion, you're a chef, you know, it starts in our mouth. It's the saliva and our tongue. The teeth break, but the main thing is done by saliva. All the enzymes in our saliva does the first digestion. You remember when we were young, our grandparents would say, chew your food at least 40 times?
I wonder why they said that.
There was a reason. Chew your food properly, because that's where and then your stomach will digest it much faster.
Exactly.
And your stomach will not have problem. If you have oral problems and you're swallowing big pieces of food because hunger pains are worse, no matter what, you're going to eat something, now your stomach has a hard time to digest it.
Correct.
You know, it has to work a lot harder than usual. And also if you're swallowing big pieces, especially meat, it takes 48 hours to digest. That's why we come to the protein powder, right? It's all vegetarian protein, and your body recognizes it. It digests it faster. Meat will take 48 hours to digest. This will take about 20 hours maybe digest. Now, I'm not scientifically saying that. I know it from my personal experience. I use it every day. But we'll talk about that later. My advice to anybody who has an oral problem, number one, find a good dentist. Now, I don't want to say anything bad about dentists, periodontists. They are in a profession to help people. But there is good dentists and bad dentists. And there is dentists who like green color a lot. And there is dentists who care about what they do. I had both. I had great dentists. I have friends who are dentists. And I just want to tell people, ask around. Mm-hmm. Ask people, do you know somebody's a good dentist? You need good dentist, good technician to work on you so they won't create more work than necessary. But it is important to get your teeth cleaned. It is important to keep your mouth healthy. If your mouth is healthy, your body will be healthy.
Absolutely. On the note of the combination of nutrition and oral health, as Robert says, it is so critical. And as much as I know over the years, it just brings it all back to basics. It starts in the mouth. Just like in health, we say it starts in your gut, in your stomach. Well, it does, but you bypass the mouth. And maybe just if we would all slow down and maybe just even start chewing our food a little longer, it would help. There's little things that we can start to do that can start to take us down that path of better oral health and better health in general.
Actually, I noticed that if I chew longer, I eat less.
There you go. What a concept, huh?
I know. We don't realize there's so many things. Eating too much is not good. But we like to eat. You know, we live in a country where food is abundant. We get anything we want to eat. Anybody. Doesn't matter you're rich, poor, middle class. There is food, all kind of food.
And here 24 hours, unfortunately, here.
and people eat good, but we overeat. I'll give you an example. My friend's daughter was here from France, and we went to a restaurant, and I being a host, I ordered this, ordered that, and she was with 2 kids. They just nibbled a little bit, and they were done. She keeps saying, don't order this much. Nobody, who's going to eat this food? This is 10, 15 people will eat what you're eating here. Well, I said, this is normal for us. She said, oh, my God, you're eating way too much in America. That was true because we do eat a lot. I used to have 16-ounce steak. That was my favorite. My wife and I would go out. I would have my 16-ounce steak or prime rib. Love it. But I cut down. What we need is about 3-4 ounces of steak, not 16-ounce steak. We need protein. If we want animal protein, then 4-ounce steak we do for any human being, any size. But our stomach is enlarged because we're so used to filling it up. Your stomach gets large and it demands more.
And so do our plates get larger too.
Right. If you train your stomach get smaller and smaller, the amount of food we need is not a lot to be the same strength, the same agility and nutrition that our body needs.
Yeah, the proper food.
Right.
Smaller amounts.
That's why when we made the Inca Warrior Protein, we wanted about 4-ounce steak size protein. So 1 scoop of Inca Warrior Protein has 21 grams of protein with 3 grams of maca in it. It is the best protein there is in the market. And it's new. We just put out about a month ago, and it's still in the process of being distributed nationwide. It takes time to put out new products.
It's wonderful, though.
But it is a great product. But what I'm saying, you don't need too much protein to do the job. You don't need to eat 16 ounces of meat or a whole chicken or a whole fish to get. All you need is about 4 or 5 ounces of steak and so on. So if you can control your eating habit, we will lose weight easily. I was doing a TV show in Los Angeles. They asked me, what about diet? What would you say? I said, well, I'm not into diet because you can see I'm not. But I can tell you something. If I eat the way I want to eat, when I have the appetite to eat, I'll be 200 pounds in 2 months. But I don't. So anybody who's, whatever, if you have a problem with diet, just cut down your food. It will do its job. Just give it some time. It's not going to happen overnight. It takes some time to lose weight that you gain in years and years' time. But you can lose it in a few years' time if you cut down your food in normal what you have to eat.
Right.
That's why I like to talk to you about food.
Well, but it's true. It's absolutely true. You know, people come at me all the time. Oh, chef, what diet and this diet and that diet? I said, it's not about a diet. Learn about the different types of food and incorporate what's the best. For example, when my husband and I first started out, we were raw. I'm a raw food chef. And then we were raw vegan, which meant we were anti-animal. No fins, no fur, no feathers, no eyes. And then we became vegetarian. And then from vegetarian, we tried paleo. So I've tried them all. And the bottom line is now for us, 12 years into this, and for myself, having been an overweight adult, 203 pounds, by the way, what I found was to incorporate a little bit of each and the best of each. And when you do the best of each, you do eat less because it gives your body what it needs. When you're constantly ingesting dead calories, you will continue to want more and more and more. And that's a lot of what's happened here in this country as far as our diet and weight and things. I think if they would just take the time, don't worry about being on a diet. Diets don't work. And you have to educate yourself. Just because a cabbage diet worked for your girlfriend and she lost 15 pounds, hey, I guarantee you, I can put you on a water diet and I guarantee you you'll lose weight. So it's not the diet. It's learning how to change those habits and change your lifestyle. Hey, let's do this. Let's take a short break. This is Healthy Living Las Vegas. We're going to come back with my wonderful, wonderful guest, Robert T. We'll be right back in about 2. And welcome back, everybody, to Healthy Living Las Vegas. I'm your host, Chef Sharynne Frazer. I have my wonderful guest with me today, Robert T. And Robert, let's continue on. Let's talk a little bit about maca.
Well, I would like to talk about maca, but how about you tell me about some good food? What should I eat right?
Oh, he's thinking about his food today. You get that, folks? Are you ready for that?
Well, you know, you're so famous, and I saw already what you did yesterday, at the show, but I would like to know more about what is the best diet, or not, what is the best thing anybody can eat in the morning when they wake up. Supposed to be the best time to eat. Breakfast is very important, very healthy, and you must eat something good.
Yes.
What would that be? What's your advice?
Number one, I'm a proponent of breakfast. Goes back to the old childhood days. My parents would not allow me to leave the house unless we had breakfast. They said, we don't care if you don't eat lunch. Okay, you'll have breakfast and you'll have dinner. And if you don't happen to have dinner, that's okay too, but you will have breakfast. So breakfast has always been important. Breakfast is one of those things, I think it's an individual thing, because there are people who can't have breakfast in the morning. They don't feel like their stomach can handle it. And for people like that, I find out that the best thing for them to do is to utilize, believe it or not, the smoothie.
Smoothie. I love
Because
smoothies.
many times if you're using an almond milk or a rice milk or something as part of the base, it helps to calm the stomach down so that now you can have that smoothie in the morning. And if you're not a breakfast person to start off with, and you want to start to really train yourself, eat a little bit. Don't sit down and have, 5 slices of toast and bacon and eggs and sausage and this and that. Start small, a little bit, and see how it sits. And give yourself some time. Breakfast for us, it varies at my home. It depends on what I feel like and what I want to make. But usually it will involve a smoothie of some sort, because many times I leave the house, probably like you, Robert, early in the morning, and we don't get home until later in the night. And any stops that you're going to make during the day are not going to be healthy. All right? Right?
Well, very good. The reason I ask you about that, because every morning, before we made the protein powder, we used to use Inca Gold Maca, which is our product we supply nationwide. Our Maca comes from Peru. Traditionally, it's grown in Peru for thousands of years. Before the world knew about potato, there was Maca.
Right.
We just didn't know in the United States about Maca till last 15, 20 years. So we got to know about Maca because my wife was doing research about what's good for women who have menopause problem. And a lot of women use progesterones and all kind of things, but still it doesn't help. Somebody who doesn't want to use chemicals and so on, what can they do? So knowing her, she does research A to Z. I mean, she'll find anything possible. So she found out about Maca. I didn't know about it until we were at the show in Anaheim convention, and we had a couple of doctors representing Maca. So we exchanged product. We gave them toothpaste and mouthwash. They gave us Maca. That's how we got into Maca. But she already knew what she was looking for. And we tested it. I got great benefit from it. She got great benefit. She stopped taking anything except Maca for menopause. No hot flashes, no pain, no suffering, no getting to bed for a couple of days. So it is one of the best ingredients balancing hormones.
There you go.
Naturally grown.
Are you
At
listening,
14,000
ladies?
foot. 14,000 foot elevation is growing Maca that Peruvian people been using since day one that they've been around.
Yeah.
So that's how we started in Maca. Then it's good for men because it balances your hormones, gives you stamina, gives you a lot of testosterone. It's good for a woman because, and I don't know how to use this language properly, but it lubricates women if they have dryness problem. It balances their own. It's good for your nails, good for your hair. It's good for general well-being. Maca is one of the best products on earth. I don't know why it's growing at 14,000 foot elevation, and it's the best. Now they're trying to grow Maca in China, in Brazil, in Argentina. Even here, I heard in Idaho, they're trying to grow Maca. But I think what makes Maca so special that comes from Peru is the air. It's the minerals in the land. It's being at 14,000 foot elevation. And all the chemicals that comes naturally from the ground. It makes Maca what it is. Now, of course, last 20 or so years, I don't know exact time, they start growing organic Maca. Now, to me, organic is great, and everybody today is talking about organic, which is good. I have nothing against it. But at 14,000 foot elevation, there is nothing to kill that is going to eat your Maca plant or anything. But they're not using the local people, the Peruvians who grow maca or little farmers. They don't use any chemicals. First of all, it's expensive. They can afford it. They're not very wealthy nation. Traditionally grown maca is as good to me as the organic maca, but we have both. Vita-Myr supplies both to health food stores, to direct. Vita-Myr is nationwide company. I mean, we have products Amazon sells for us, eBay, Bonanza, and many companies that do sales on internet today. And you know, the way the sales going today in internet is huge. But Vita-Myr's maca products are pure, unadulterated. This is another thing. We had a lot of company or people who used our maca. They went to use other people's maca, then come right back to us. Now, one other thing we have about maca is gelatinized maca capsules. This is a process that they cook maca in a certain temperature to get the starches out of maca. That makes it for stomach easier digestion if somebody has a problem. Also, when maca is in a powder form, it's good for smoothies. It's good to sprinkle in your cereal to eat. That means you have to eat at home. But it's hard if you're traveling. So if you're traveling, here's maca gelatinized where you can put it in your pocket, and wherever you are, you can take your maca not to be out of it. So maca became one of our greatest products that we supply, and we make sure it's pure, it's great, and it's always good. If you don't want to use protein powder, I understand, but you can use maca.
Right.
We come to the breakfast. What I do for breakfast is every morning we make a smoothie. It's almond milk that we use, my wife and I. Before we had the protein powder, we used to use maca. We still do. Depends day. Excuse me. We put 2 scoops of maca or 2 scoops of protein powder. We put a banana or some other fruits we have. We blend it in the morning. Takes only a couple of minutes to do that. With our smoothie, we take our omega-3s, preservatives, whatever else we want to take. That morning, it's done in a few minutes, and we're good till lunchtime.
That's why I say, folks, the smoothie is the
good.
key. It's the key because you can deliver all the nutrition and everything that you need at the beginning of your day. And then that sets the pace for the rest of your day. You'll be amazed how much better you will function when you have nutrition to start your day off, not coffee or a donut. And on that note, I would like to share one little thing. For those of you that are listening and watching, you cannot out-exercise a poor diet. You can stay in the gym for 4 hours, 8 hours, 3 days, whatever, after you've had, your Kentucky Fried Chicken or whomever, your fast food or your bad food. You can't out-exercise a poor diet. So once you get that into your head, then all of a sudden your choices start changing because you're like, wow, I'm going to eat that whatever, and I don't think I'll ever be able to get rid of that except maybe 3.5 hours in the gym. I don't have time. So start being more cautious and conscious about what you start putting in your mouth now that you know that your digestion starts in your mouth. And we're going to walk you through, as Robert did, and even myself. Start off small. Start off with a smoothie. Start off with vegetables or fruits and things that you like. Sorry about that. We just had a cell phone go off, but that's okay. It's no problem. But start off with things that you like. And then you can start to incorporate other things into that smoothie that you don't particularly care much for. They're good for you, but you'll be able to mask that flavor. For example, we had has nothing to do with the smoothie, but the muffins that I made. Okay, I buried vegetables in there that people can't stand. I had peas, corn, carrots, broccoli, kale, spinach, purple onion, celery, mushroom, and they hate all that. And my stuff was gone in 20 minutes. So start off with, I'm saying all that to say, start off with a very simple smoothie of something that you like. If it's the protein powder with the organic maca, with a little rice milk, and you like strawberries, fine, throw some strawberries in there, sip it, and get used to it, particularly if you're not used to breakfast. Take your time and let your stomach start to get used to it. And then next thing you know, you're like, wow, that was pretty good. And I felt good. Lunchtime came. You weren't starving. You hadn't been to the commissary in the meantime from 8 o'clock until noon to get your candy bar or another cup of coffee. And then lunchtime comes, and you're like, I'm not very hungry right now. That's a good thing. Why? Because you deliver the nutrition to the body early on at the beginning of your day. You set your blood sugar level, okay? You set it to be able to function. Instead of starting off on empty, okay, your fuel tank is empty, and it stays on empty, and it goes further down on empty until mid-morning, and now it's time for a candy bar or some potato chips or a diet soda, okay? And then now it's lunchtime, and now you're famished. So, back to what you're saying, nutrition. It starts with breakfast, and make it small, and then build on it from there.
And stay away from sugar.
Oh, definitely. I think research is now...
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, research now, folks, I'm sure you all know, has finally, we've been saying this on the naturopathic side for about 20 years now, that sugar is one of our biggest culprits. Not cholesterol. Not cholesterol. Not sodium. Sugar. And you want to see something funny? The other day on the Today Show, they were showing little kids. Their parents did a YouTube video on them, and they told the little kids the day after Halloween that mom and dad had eaten all of their Halloween candy. You should have seen these kids. They were so angry.
Wow.
One little boy said, "You're not going to be my mommy anymore. You had no right to eat my candy. You didn't even ask me." So it shows you that the relationship between human beings and sweets is a very strong, powerful, learned habit.
The only thing will change that is the computers. Nowadays, kids care more about computers than sugar.
They do.
That's just horrible. You know, Ivan was shopping in a mall, she told me. She saw this young father pushing a stroller with a baby. Then she looked, as she got closer to past day, she saw this baby sleeping. She thought she's sleeping, the baby. But next thing you know, this 8-month-old baby is playing computer
on the
game.
computer.
I mean, that is amazing. You look at all the kids playing.
It was
computer.
on the news. They said they're finding 18-month-olds now starting to use computers.
18
months.
8, 9, 10 months old babies playing with these little fingers with computers. Amazing.
And being mesmerized. Now, the sad thing is, and we won't talk about computers. That's another show.
That wasn't.
The sad thing is, though, as we've seen with young adults and even adults, is you start to lose that interpersonal relationship with another human being. That's the sad thing.
That is a sad thing. Man, I have many grandkids. We'll talk about that later. Let me tell you about Vita-Myr products. Anybody can go to Vita-Myr.com, Vitamyr.com, and you can find a store near you in our website. We support health food stores nationwide.
Yes.
We want local people to be able to go to the store, pick up our products. But you can also get our products in our website if you don't have a store carrying our product. Or you can ask your store to call us and they will order it for you. We'll be happy to work with them. Now, Vita-Myr is a product that we created with love and care. Every product we have, and I will start with our one of new products, aloe vera cream. Great for whole body. Excellent cream. 84% aloe vera cream. I mean, that is just amazing. We have sport cream, Arnica sport cream, also created by Ivan, my wife, the genius. One of the best sport creams. If you have sore muscles, before exercise, after exercise, before you go to sleep, use a little Arnica sport cream and you will have great benefit. Then we also come our aloe vera cream, aloe vera shampoo and conditioner. We have 5 different shampoo and conditioners. Aloe vera, we have lavender, we have coconut, we have henna. Those are great shampoo and conditioners, all totally natural. And we have about 5 minutes. If I want to tell you something about more interesting about people, I'm not here to try to sell, but I want to sell. I need your support because without you, where would we be? You made us to be where we are. I want to thank you, all the listeners who's first time, all the ones who already know or use our products. you brought us where we are, and we will do the best we can to put our new products as often as we can, as we have good products to put out. Because everything we do, if we don't use it, I won't want anybody else to use it.
Yeah, and the beauty that one of the reasons I really love Vita-Myr was because of they're listening to their customers. They're listening to what those needs are, and that's why they end up developing the toothpaste. Because why? That's what the customer was begging him to do. And so they will always be on top of creating the best natural products with minimal. And if you look at the ingredient list, there's nothing on there that you cannot pronounce.
Let me tell you about children's toothpaste, right? My wife and I have 19 grandkids and grandkids. We wanted a great toothpaste. When you go to grocery store, you get a toothpaste. I won't say names because I don't like to put down any other company. But if you get the toothpaste and there's a warning sign, says warning, if your child swallows, call the doctor. Now, as a parent, why would you put that in your child's mouth, knowing that it's too much sugar, sweet in there? The kid are going to swallow. Then your kids get sick. You don't know where they come, this sickness is from. I mean, what is in your toothpaste for your child?
Right.
Now, we created the best ingredients that we have in our toothpaste in a manner for children. For having, as a sweetener, we have an orange flavor. It tastes good because there's xylitol in it.
Right.
And xylitol is a natural sweetener taken from birch tree. And it's great children's toothpaste. If you haven't tried it yet, please, for your own child's sake, try our children's toothpaste. It's one of the best there is in the market. I don't know any other toothpaste that can compare with this, to be as natural as it is and really clean and help keep it clean, your child's mouth.
Without warnings.
Without warning, no need. I mean, I'm not saying the children should eat it, but even if they did accidentally, nothing will happen.
Right.
All natural ingredients. What I know about oral health today, and I didn't know 15, 16 years ago, wow, it's mountains and mountains apart. And that's why it became my passion to tell people about oral health. If you take care of your mouth will take care of you. All I can tell you is try Vita-Myr products. You cannot go wrong with it. And we have 100% money-back guarantee.
Can't ask for any more than that, right?
No.
One of the reasons that I really got involved with Robert was because obviously I am a periodontal sufferer. And most of you that are listening probably know me by now. When I really get involved and jump on something, I'm going to become an advocate for oral health care because it's something that's absolutely imperative, particularly for those of us who have retired now, seniors, because unfortunately in our healthcare system there is no preventative health care available for us. So unfortunately, many of us go down the slippery slope. So I'm going to take this on again as one of my personal crusades to really get out there more and more and educate the public, get involved with some of the healthcare professionals out here that that I've worked with over the years, get involved with some of the insurance companies also to go in and start educating and teaching people about the importance of their healthcare, oral healthcare, and how they can start today with just very, very simple solutions and very simple
using Vita-Myr products.
Vita-Myr products, exactly. And they are very, very good. And I'm speaking from my own personal testimony for sure. Well, I hope you guys learned something today. We had a great show. Robert, I want to thank you so much for being a guest.
Wow, it's a pleasure to be here.
This was wonderful.
I love talking with you.
This was great. We learned a lot about the Vita-Myr product. And by the way, the name Vita-Myr, it comes from the myrrh, M-Y-R-R-H, myrrh oil. So you may hear Vita-Myr, Vita-Myr, whatever. It's Vita-Myr, and it's from the myrrh oil. And it's a wonderful product. I'm very honored to be associated with you folks. This is something that obviously is very dear to my mouth. I won't say dear to my heart, but it could end up affecting my heart too.
Well, we'll talk about
that on the next show. Okay, folks, thank you so much for listening. This is Healthy Living Las Vegas. I'm your host, Chef Sharynne Frazer. We'll be back soon.